Another day, another terrible article, and even more crazy Twitter drama. Let's get into this. So I had the unfortunate displeasure of viewing the orc hashtag or something like that. I don't even remember, but it was a hashtag on Twitter, and people were bitching about how orcs were incredibly racist. Of course, Twitter. Of course. So articles like this kind of push that, orcs is racist narrative. So let's look at some key points of this lovely article and get into this. So the article starts off loosely explaining D&D fans like talking about racism in the game. Apparently, I was not aware that was really a big thing in it. I mean, obviously, racism makes for great drama because it involves just ideologies and stuff. It's really good. It's a lot better than that handmade crap drama that we're spoon-fed each day. So racism in games can make for fantastic drama and great storylines. So earlier today, the term orc started trending on Twitter in the United States as D&D and fantasy fans debated the issues surrounding the classic fantasy creatures. Good lord, I can't talk today. I just woke up. That's going to be my excuse this time. The conversation started when Quinn Welsh Wilson criticized a passage found in Volo's Guide to Monsters that noted orcs could only develop a limited capacity for empathy, love, and compassion. Welsh Wilson prefaced their post with a casual racism trigger warning, which set up a heated debate over how orcs and other fantasy races are predicted in modern fairy tales. So right off the bat, we have people getting into it because of a casual, trigger warning. Honestly, it just, I guess he's just, covering his bases, but, if you see race in this, if you see real-world race in this, you might need to look in the mirror because you might not be quite as woke as you think you are. So the next part of the article pretty much goes to explain the origins of the orcs and how they are also, more or less in modern pop culture, described and depicted as the Tolkien versions of orcs, which are brutish and ugly, violent creatures. And they pretty much say it's a philosophical concept to paint an entire culture as being inferior or evil because they were different. I don't necessarily, I don't even know where they're getting that. There's plenty of different cultures. There's plenty of different ways of lives. People judge cultures because they're different because people suck. This is stuff I haven't even fucking thought about. They're just orcs. They're just orcs. Why are people freaking out? So now we get to the meat and bones of the article, where they begin talking about how the above paragraphs summarize why many people take issues with the depictions of orcs in general. It also touches on why many dislike how your Dungeons and Dragons and other fantasy tabletop games deal with the race in general. I haven't seen that, until recently, with all these people losing their minds about this stuff. I haven't had anyone I haven't known anyone to take issue. These are people that don't play the game, and they just want to have an issue because that's actually how American Twitter is these days. They have nothing to do. We're all stuck inside during this, pre-apocalyptic, death plague. So we're finding things to bitch about, apparently, because that's what we do in this world. And we don't have anything to fight for, so we fight for stupid ideas. Lovely. So nearing the end of the article, we get the most common argument from the other side, which is, the right side. No, I'm kidding. You can have your own opinions. I just like to spout mine and make fun of people's I disagree with. That's what I do for this shitty-ass YouTube channel. Of course, the common other side to all this is that dwarves orcs, elves, and other fantasy races aren't real and they aren't meant to be representative of human cultures or races. They aren't necessarily representative of a culture or race. But generally, when creating lore, you borrow from reality and put it into your thing. So borrowing, I would say it's definitely more culture in this case. With like D&D and just things in general, they borrow from culture. Like you can it's just how you write. You borrow from culture, you mix, you match, you make your own thing. The lizard folk, I believe, are like a and not cannibalistic, but like, you know, carnivorous, unfeeling people, and they're awesome. I wish I could play as lizard folk in D&D, but I can't because they're not self-aware or something like that, so you can't actually play as them. But they took, you know, even more so, like, you know, tribalistic tendencies than the orcs have. So are we not getting upset over lizard folk? I guess you can't play as them, so you can't, you know, put yourself into that. That being said, this is pretty much where the article says that, like, some people just don't take it too seriously. They don't, you know, correlate a race in fantasy with a real-life race. And generally, that's what should be done, because not everyone sees everything as this is racist, this is reality. You look like an idiot when you do that. It's entertainment. No one is pushing you to hate black people, or hate Asian people, or hate white people in D&D. No one is telling you to do that. And so the article ends with, while Dungeons & Dragons and the wider fantasy genre has struggled often with these monolithic stereotypes, it should be noted that two of Dungeons & Dragons' more recent source books have offered players alternative rules for orcs that don't require them to take racial penalty to intelligence and don't have a natural bloodlust or underlying rage. But while these options remain, this weekend discussion shows that there's much more progress needed. What do you want? Do you want them to get, like, do you want the orcs now to become the most broken race in D&D? No, the orcs, every race has, you know, positives and negatives. Fucking elves, great for casting magic. Humans, they're all arounders. Orcs were, I believe, mainly intended for, like, combat and, you know, the brutality of the stuff. These races are more or less meant to justify your class choices and also to add some spice and make some more interesting story and lore. To freak out that... I don't even know how you're getting racism out of this. How are you getting racism out of this? It's a... Oh my god, like... Oh my god. That's it. I'm done. I'm done, guys. I'm done.